You are listening to The Truth on the Houndsman XP Podcast Network, and man, I don't know what we're doing with this. Josh doesn't know what we're doing with this thing yet. We're just having fun with it, interviewing some great guests, getting some great messages out there. And for all of you that have not been listening to the Houndsman XP Podcast for very long, welcome aboard. We are so glad that you are tuning in with us on the Houndsman XP Podcast Network to hear these stories from hunters that started out just like all the rest of us did and, you know, have achieved a lot of their goals and continue to work hard to be successful and keep reaching out there. And I think it's a good inspiration for all of us as houndsmen, regardless of what we're turning our hound loose on, regardless of the color of hound you're turning loose. Man, there's a lot of good information, a lot of success stories, and that's why we call it The Truth. The truth is, anyone who is willing to put in the work, who's willing to ask questions, find people who have the knowledge, anyone can be successful in this sport. You don't have to be gifted with some kind of supernatural talents, physical abilities, things like that. And this is a sport that anybody can get involved with. And that's the story that we continue to bring out. All of us started out the same way, not knowing what we were doing. The difference is some of us surrounded ourselves with great houndsmen and learn from them. And that's the cool thing about The Truth. The truth is, you cannot become a great houndsman sitting on the couch scrolling through social media and reading about other people's experience. The truth is, you cannot become a great houndsman by listening to this podcast. The truth is, you got to get out there and you got to get after it. The truth is, I'm producing this podcast under generator power, and I'm not kidding. You can probably hear it running in the background, but we are so dedicated to putting the truth out there and putting this show together for all our houndsmen that we're even going to do it under generator power if we have to. I don't know what's going on with my electricity, but anyway, guys, hey, like I said, listen to this message. You know, take in each episode, absorb what we're putting out there, and hopefully it'll come back around when you need it. We just got a message this past week from an individual who was running his dog, and he sent us a message talking about how he remembered something that he had heard in an earlier podcast when his dog was struggling, and he was able to work his dog and work through the problem. So it's out there. It's not just entertainment. We actually can be useful idiots at times. But, guys, I really appreciate it. I'm going to get to it. Josh is queued up with some friends. You guys are going to enjoy this one. It's time to dump the Old South dog box.
All right. We are live. This is The Truth on the Houndsman XP Podcast Network, and I am joined today by Mr. Jed Finley, who's on his second podcast, and Mr. Zane Allen, who, fortunately for all of you, you've never met. So, what we're going to do here is it's going to be like a recap. We're going to go over some of the stuff that we've heard in the first 3 episodes of the podcast, and, you know, just kind of shoot the bull, talk, rules, questions. I had a bunch of questions that I had wrote down, but I lost them all. So we're just going to wing it like we do. And we're just going to talk coon dogs. So we're getting ready we just got done with the woodshed. Jed didn't go because he was mule deer hunting. Zane didn't go because he didn't have an entry. So I guess I just got done with the woodshed hunt.
That is correct. That is correct.
Did you kill mule deer, Jed?
No. We are now 222 days, 23 days of mule deer hunting. Still ain't killed one.
That sounds like a Jed problem.
Yes.
I bet every guy that he shows up with, he's like, oh, man.
I'm guessing their success rate is better than that normally.
So anyway, Jed was out in Nebraska mule deer hunting, and we got done with the woodshed. We're getting dogs ready for the world hunt. Zane, you're getting ready for the world hunt. You got getting ready?
I've got Wiz and a 2-year-old out of Big Money I call Easy.
So you got Wiz and Money. You guys sold one at Super Stakes, didn't you?
Yes, we sold the Jack dog we had.
The Jack dog. Who bought it?
Brian Wyrick brought him back.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So tell me about Wiz. For those that don't know, Zane Allen is co-owner of, what is his full registered name? Just Whiz Bang or Dempsey's
Whiz
Dempsey's Whiz Bang. So he's co-owner of Whiz Bang with Chris Freiberger, Jeremy Burns. Is Brookshire in on him or just?
No.
No. Just those three. And Dempsey is out of, or Wiz is out of Dempsey, who is out of Trader. So he goes back to Jed's line of dogs. Zane is also the co-owner of the Con Dog, who you guys have seen on the YouTube channel that I own with him. And you've seen Zane featured on the YouTube channel a couple times too. So we thought we'd get him over here and we'd talk coon dogs and we'd talk rules and we'd talk competition hunts and we'd just talk a little bit of everything. But tell me about Wiz, Zane. What's Wiz like? Try from cut loose to tree. Tell me what Wiz is like. Tell all the listeners.
Bark. Is that what you was getting at?
That's kind of what I was getting at.
I figured that's where you was going. That's basically his forte. He likes to bark. He's a coon terrier. We've had a little success with him. Won second at his 3-year-old Super Stakes.
So, yeah, he's a reserve champion, Super Stakes reserve champion, right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Platinum champion?
Yes. He's got 21,000 and some change won, I think.
And got, how old are them dogs now?
5.
5, yes.
5. Yeah, I said they ain't super old. They're younger than Rain's litter.
Yep.
Yeah. So
He is the one Trader style dog that barks.
Yes.
And
And
I mean-
Dempsey would throw that some because Delta barked quite a bit too. I mean, she didn't bark like Wiz did, but she was a good track dog.
No, but he's an exception to the
barks.
rule.
There was that one out of Ralph that barked too, out of Ralph and Squeak, that chopped on the ground a bunch.
I don't know where that dog's at.
I don't either. And then there was Trick, but Trick was not a very good strike dog.
No, she was a 50 strike dog, but
But
once
she opened her stupid rattling barking head, she kept it open
it
the
was
whole
on
time.
like Donkey Kong. Baby.
Oh, I mean, just chop, 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 chop. Drove me crazy. But a coon treer. And a real pretty dog, too.
Does Wiz drive you crazy?
Wiz, not my favorite dog on the planet. Not going to lie. But there's a lot of things I like about Wiz, and mostly it's heart. Because when everybody's wore out and nobody wants to go, Wiz is too stupid to know that he's wore out, and he'll still go coon hunting.
He'll still get struck.
Yeah, he'll still get
Still
struck.
get treat.
And he's pretty good in a cast, especially. He's really good about having his coons. Every time I've been with Wiz in dogs, Wiz is real good about having his coons. So, I mean, really, what do you need?
One thing that's nice about him, he always gets them to the pay window.
Yeah. And then, Brett Myers, who we recorded that'll air after this, told me that, who was it, Halverson or someone told him that the strike points are the easiest points a dog can get.
Yeah.
All I got to do is bark. He goes, so why not have one that just barks?
Yep.
Which is a good point. Drives me crazy, but it's still a good point. And so, what about Easy? Easy's out of Big Money.
Yes.
I like Easy's mouth, the way he uses it a lot more than I do Wiz's.
Easy's a good strike dog, but he doesn't bark like Wiz
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
He's not a babbling retard, is what you're saying.
Well, he's not a babbler anyways.
He kind of is, though. He'll open.
Yeah, he carries it good.
Yeah.
He's just,
But he's got a big hound mouth, good, clean hound mouth. I
he
like
just
that.
leans more on the retarded part.
Yeah. And so, Jed, you've been getting Rain and Scent ready.
Yep.
And how they been looking?
I don't even want to discuss it after last night.
Now didn't Rain just do a good job at the woodshed?
She did on Friday night.
She looked like a puke on Saturday.
Yeah. Saturday, we cut loose. It was me, Brett Myers, Derek Furness, Sean Wood. And we cut loose. Of course, I strike for a quarter, as she does. She gets real quick down the edge of a cornfield and just slides into the timber maybe 20 yards. Bang, locates trees. I assume she found one in the corn, pushed it up, looking at it. I tree her. I go in there. It's a gut slick. I mean, gut slick. The coon's probably, 20 feet away in a big hackberry, and she's on this little hedge that leans over that somehow in the middle of October, early October, doesn't have a freaking leaf on it. Couldn't even circle it. And so I cut her off that. We go back to Brett. He's got a coon. Sean's dog has a coon. Range treat again. I tree her before we get back to this one because I'm already down 100 and a quarter, and I know I'm going to be down when these dogs, we score these, because them Pro Classics, them dogs have their coons. And so I figure I'm going to have to tree 4 coons. I got time, and we're in good coons, so I figure I can do it. And she goes in there and gets treed again, and I tree her. And one of my kids are making noise upstairs. I'm going to have to go up there and slap them. But anyway, I tree her. And she trees probably 8 or 9 minutes, shuts it off, 2 catches her. She don't leave. I'm still looking at her on the tracker. 2 catches her. I take another 100 pump. She leaves there, goes 100 yards, gets treed again, and I withdraw her. By that time, they've treed 2 coons. I'm down 1 million. There's no sense. I'll just get out of the way. So I go in there and get her. She's got a coon there, and I went back to where she was, and she had a little coon in a bush, and I drug it out and chewed on it and killed it and took a pump. So Friday night, she looked good. Saturday night, not so much. So, I don't know what. I think Croson, Yant, and Sean got in Saturday night.
Yep.
And I drew Yant and Croson. I had a power pack cast on Friday night.
Yes, you did.
It was Steve Yant, national champion, Ryan Croson, world champion, million-time Super Stakes champion, and the winningest dog of all time.
Yeah.
So that wasn't too bad. But she treated a couple coons there and looked pretty good one day. And so then the wheels fell off. So I gave her back to Jed so he could get her ready.
It's been a struggle.
And then what did Sent do last night? You hunted with Jeremy last night.
She looked pretty pitiful. I mean, to say it in layman's terms, pretty pitiful.
How's Wiz been looking?
I just got him back after Super
Did
Stakes, and he's treated a few coons, but
Yeah.
nothing special.
Well, tell me about because I remember whenever you guys were going out to Super Stakes, when he made that run and looked good and almost won Super Stakes. And what was he doing right before you guys took him out there?
He was looking good. Me and you was actually hunting quite a bit together, and hunting him and Con. And he was just treeing coons by himself like you want one.
Yeah, and then he went into that little trailing spell where he didn't want to get treed right before you guys left for Super Stakes, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah.
I thought that's good. The coons, because it was dry. Remember,
Yes.
It was real dry whenever we went out there. Or whenever you guys took him out there. You about done, Jed?
Yeah, I just had to move the mic.
All right. Anything else?
Nope.
Just get comfortable. All right.
I'm trying to.
Let me know when you're ready.
I really wish we had some backs on these stools.
Yeah, or some recliners.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have to get your XP podcast booth set up a little better here.
Whenever you get your kennels built, just put a podcast studio in it, and I'll come over there.
We can do it.
But anyway, it was real dry. So Wiz went into, he wasn't making any bad trees or nothing when he had his trees. He had his coon, and he was covering a lot of ground, but the coons weren't moving, and it was terrible conditions out. So,
And hopefully he's looking like that again because he's still in the covering ground mode. So
well, that's good. I remember one night we turned him, Bella, and I think Con loose. Whenever we turned loose north of the hay shed, and Wiz was at like 1.95 miles, and Bella was like 1.75 miles, and Con was like 1.2 miles or something like that. All
Did you
different
drive?
directions. Oh yeah, we drove to every tree. I don't think
we got them gathered, didn't we?
yeah, we did. But I don't think we could get. We could only get like 600 yards from Wiz.
Yeah.
But yeah, he'll cover ground. Dog's got a big motor, and we've always talked to motor wins. Motor win coon hunts.
Yes, I know we don't all agree on the barking, but that's
No.
one thing I think every one of us will agree on, that the hustle has to be there.
And he has hustle when he's
That
tired
is a
and we're up.
fact.
Because, I mean, when you guys got him in at Super Stakes, it was Thursday night late round before you got him in. So he'd hunted all week.
Yes.
And then you got him in, double cast win on Friday. And then did you have to hunt it early on Saturday?
No, it was just
It was just the finals on
final
Saturday.
three. Yep.
So he hunted 2 nights. And how much? He won an early round.
No,
He
we
didn't?
never won an early round until Thursday. Me and Chris alternated taking turns handling him. I handled him Monday and Wednesday. He handled him Tuesday and Thursday, and we all lost Monday through Wednesday. And then Chris got on a streak, and the rest was history.
I thought he won an early round on like Tuesday or something. Probably a good thing he didn't. Because
Yeah.
he was wore out by the time you guys got done with him Saturday.
Yeah, and like Jed said, he was just getting in his groove. That was probably the best thing to happen to him, was to wait till Thursday and get in a groove and go.
That's what the people don't understand is like especially with duds and them, you just had to wait till they were hot and then find a hunt to get them to.
That's a fact.
Some dogs you couldn't get, like you couldn't get him ready.
Yeah.
There's no getting him ready.
I remember the world hunt one year.
The
UKC world.
Oh yeah. Jed, tell us about that cast with old Dudsy.
Well, I never had been in a more interesting cast in my entire life. There's no way I was going to win this cast. Zero possible chance.
No, because Nathan Myers was putting a beat down on us.
Yeah,
first.
and then they got him. He got scratched.
Yeah.
So now it's me and two black and tan man. And well, neither one of them were going to let each other win that cast. So by golly gee, I just slip right in and get the OCW. I didn't know the rules or even what was going on.
Let me preface this for a little bit because I didn't want to hunt him. How many times has Dud's been qualified for the UKC World Hunt?
I think the last 4 years.
Yeah, he's been a bunch. We've never took him to zones.
Nope.
So I talked Jed into handling him at zones. And he wasn't ready. It ain't like we'd been hunting the dog or nothing.
No, I think he got turned loose twice before zones all summer.
Well, see, I hunted him in the spring, and I was going to try to get him qualified for the Tournament of Champions, which is a cool hunt that I need to get qualified for. But one of the hunts that he won was an RQE, and so he's qualified for zones, and we take him up there. And I didn't want to hunt him. Jed ends up hunting him, and Jed wins this cast on Friday night. What'd he do? He treated a coon out of the pickup, but he ended up getting like third on it or something like that.
No, I had 225 out of the pickup.
No, that was the second night. The first night, no, that black and tan guy treated him. The black and tan guy treated him on his locate.
Yeah, treat him running.
Yeah, Duds was still running, and then the black and tan guy treed his dog on Duds' bark.
Yeah.
And by the time Duds got treed and they all covered him, he was in for like third strike, third tree or something.
it wasn't good.
So what we're saying is you got out-handled on that first strike.
Absolutely. I mean, hey, I was going against the professionals.
So these guys have no idea who Jed Finley is. And let's also say that in Jed's younger years, he was a bear in a cast, miserable to draw, and knew the rules like the back of his hand and would beat you to death with them. And these guys have no idea who he is. And Jed's just letting them cut their own throat, and they're arguing and they're bickering and they're letting Dud slide into this thing and win it. And one of them actually tells Jed Finley that he needs to man up and start standing up for himself for these casts, or he's never going to win anything.
Didn't he even ask him if he'd ever been in a hunt or something?
Yeah, he asked me. He goes, "How many casts you been in?" I said, "I just like my first one." I mean, he was trying to help me out. It was,
Nice guys, super nice guys,
super nice guys. I mean, they were really trying.
And
to
that
help me
one
out.
black dog wasn't a bad dog. They were together more than what we like.
Yeah.
But he had a bad habit of treeing anything that
trees.
located. Well, no, that guy would tree anything that located. And
They were all slick trees.
Well, yeah, that's true too. And Dud's treed most of them. Yeah.
Hey, looking back at it, though, it's probably a good thing they had never heard of Jed Finley.
That is probably good.
Or they wouldn't have been good guys
Yeah.
and said, hey, you need to learn this stuff.
Hey, they did help me out.
We get past that cast, and then the second night does actually look pretty good.
Oh, sharp.
Yeah. And tell me what happened there.
We tree a coon for 225 out of the pickup. Cruise control. I'm not thinking anything besides it's just double.
All we need is a cast win.
Yep. We got our 2 cast wins. We're going to the world hunt. I'm pretty excited about it because Duds has really never got a legitimate shot at anything. So we're sitting there, and a dog ends up getting back in it, and I think takes the lead. The stationary's running on me. And I got to tree Duds.
They have to tree. You can't lose unless you get minus.
Right.
Yeah.
And so but the stationary's running on me.
Yeah.
I got to tree him.
Yeah.
Well, I tree him. We walk and get within 80 yards of him. And Dud shuts up.
Now, keep in mind,
I
this
can
dog had been
hear
treated
him.
in there for a half hour.
Yes, and I can hear him sitting in there whining. Well, I know exactly what's happened as he's climbed this damn tree. So that's what happened. I get minus and end up getting beat. And
He treated the only 2 coons in the cast.
yeah,
Because he was 225 out of the pickup, treated a den that they covered. They treated a couple circle slicks, and then Dud's treated that coon at the end. But you left him there because you didn't have to tree him.
yeah,
And then they made you tree him. And
it was SOL.
but some dogs, like Dud's specifically, mostly duds, will gut you in a cast and just find so many different ways to lose.
Oh, yeah.
They'll just find it.
Yeah.
Like you think, there's no way I can lose this cast. I always tell people never withdraw. I've seen him up 600-700 and just dominating a cast and everybody withdraw, and I'll say, that's not a good idea.
Yeah, the first hour.
Oh, yeah.
I've hunted duds quite a bit, and the only time I think I ever seen him go back to a tree was when I was handling him in a cast.
Yeah.
Went back twice and got me scratched.
I remember Goob. Remember Goob was
Yeah.
going to handle him. And this dog was 3 at the time.
Yeah.
And had done a little winning, not a lot.
Isn't he like 27 now?
Yeah, he feels like he's 108. I think he's born before I was. And that dog will never die. He still looks great, too.
Little gray.
A little gray in the face, but he's been gray in the face since he was 5.
That's true. That is true.
But, he came off Jeremy's place. He may be 32. I don't know. Depends on when the Super Stakes was.
Yeah, that's right.
But he just, all that talent, and sometimes he can keep it together for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, but never for a week.
No.
Never for a week.
No.
And that's why dogs like Wiz, even though I give him hell and he drives me crazy, is you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Bella was the same way. When you cut her loose, you knew she was going to hustle around and try to find a coon. Sometimes dogs were better at it than she was, and they beat her.
And that's probably one of Wiz's strongest points is his consistency.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm not saying he's the best coon dog I've ever had, but he is consistent. He's the same thing every time you turn him loose. You know what you're going to get.
And that is huge. I mean, I thought we had that. We had that with Con for about 2 years.
Yes.
And then he just completely derailed, which is partly my fault. But we talked about, on all these podcasts, keeping dogs right. And I think Michael Ward mentioned it too, how hard it is to get a dog up and down the road. And what's your guys' experience with that as far as Zane's seen it with Con? Jed, you've seen it with multiple dog shocks going through it right now. And a lot of these guys don't understand the toll that this takes. And is my healer growling at you?
Oh, yeah.
Your protection dog don't want us to do the podcast no more.
But most of these guys don't know what it takes to take these dogs up and down the road and the pressure that it puts on them. How many dogs, in the 10 years since we've all been hunting together, how many dogs have we burned up as far as they're still good coon dogs, but can't put them in a cast anymore?
And it's another one that you hate, but Dempsey.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Whenever Dempsey was 2, he was one of my favorite dogs. He was a machine, I thought. And
He was a machine.
And what happened to him, Jed?
I blew him up.
Let's go through what Dempsey went through that year, because you got him back from Stedman as what, a 2-year-old or 3-year-old?
2-year-old.
2-year-old.
That's when we had the cabin.
And we went out to our cabin every spring, and we hunted young dogs. And me, you, Ed was there, I think.
There was a bunch. I was
There's
Ralston, Chance.
10 or 12 people. There's a bunch of people out there. And Dempsey, we'd never hunted with this dog. We've never seen this dog. And Jed turns this dog loose, and we were like, holy crap. And this is in April. Mm-hmm. Yeah, early April.
I said wow twice that night.
Yes.
That was the first night I seen Trader go too.
Yeah, I don't know how many coons he treed. That was the night Trader treed the squirrel or the flying squirrel.
The
mink.
Weasel.
The mink. The weasel.
It was a weasel.
Yeah, that's right.
It was about 2:30 in the morning. We hadn't cut him. And I said, Jed, are you going to turn Trader loose? He said, what do you mean? I said, I've never seen him go. He said, well, let's cut him. And I think he was 1 1/10 or 1.5 miles or something.
He went a ways, and he treed that weasel. He did a fine job.
Yes, and I seen it first. I seen an eye, and I hollered, "Here he is!" And then it took off. Jed said, "That ain't a coon." I said, "That weasel's got long legs if he run 1.5 miles."
Trader spent his life being gamey.
Oh yeah.
I mean, even towards the end, he would still bump a deer, coyote, or armadillos in Texas or whatever.
Hogs.
Yeah, he loves. Every now and then he'd still bump a hog. But anyway, we're talking about burning out dogs, so we got to go through Dempsey. Dempsey shows up at the cabin hunt, April, dominates, and we were turning mostly pups loose, but we had some old dogs there too. We had Trader, we had Duds, we had a couple old dogs there, and he just put on a coon tree and clan. We turned him loose a lot that night,
pretty much all night.
And most of the Trader dogs are trailing type. Gonna be a little ways sometimes if the coons aren't moving good, but Dempsey was wanting to get treed, and Dempsey was laying coons up, and this was before we had shock. Most of the Trader dogs at that time weren't late. Trader laid a lot of coons up, but most of the pups out of him at that time didn't lay a lot of coons up, but Dempsey did. And so he was treeing coons close, while Duds and Bella, who needed a track, would be in there 2 miles, when the coons weren't moving, and they would have a coon, and we were all impressed. We thought, wow. So Jed goes start taking Dempsey and putting him in hunts. And you got him. You started putting him in hunts in like August or something. It was later in the year because
I think it was June. It was June or July.
Well, you didn't start pushing him very hard because the the state race.
Right, but it was like
it was
June,
late in the year.
Yeah, it was June or July.
And he almost wins the state race.
Mm-hmm.
Brett ended up beating him there towards the end. Brett had to get a dog back out that was winning the state by like $2,000 to keep Dempsey from getting it. You take him to Super Stakes.
No, we went to
Grandmasters first. Grandmasters first, and he got second.
Second.
And that was a big hunt at the time. That was a huge hunt.
Yeah, paid $10,000.
Yeah. And then Super Stakes.
Yep.
And he got in the top, what?
Where Cass went away from getting in the finals.
Yeah, he was top 16 or 20 or something like that. And then World Hunt.
Yep. And then we got final, I think, 18 at the World Hunt.
No, top 16 at the PKC World, too, because him and the Survivor, I think, were both top 16 that year.
That's right. And then fifth in the UKC World.
Yeah, and fifth in the, that's right, I forgot about the UKC World. He finished fifth, and you had to get in that you had to get that extra cast.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and that's not, I mean, there was a lot of state casts and open events and stuff like that we don't go to now.
Yeah.
But that dog got in a year.
My foot was to the floorboard.
Yes. And what happened the next year?
He couldn't win a cast.
Derailed.
Yeah.
Absolutely derailed.
He didn't have fun coon hunting anymore.
Nope.
And actually, that kind of happened. Zane hunted.
I was going to say, that was the same year because it was the end of, it was October, the first year of the pup hunt.
Yeah.
Jed called me the week of the pup hunt.
Tell us.
Said, "Do you want to handle Dempsey?"
I'm gonna pull my earmuffs off. I got to walk over there and get my chewing tobacco. I want you to tell the story about Dempsey at the pup hunt. Now keep in mind, this is a good coon dog. He really is. Now Dempsey a little short on brain sometimes to suit me, but a coon treer.
Oh yeah, when Jed called me and asked if I wanted to hunt him in the pup hunt, I thought he'd just give me the win.
Yeah,
you know, he's been packing him around. You just named everything he had won the last 4 months.
Tell all the listeners about it while I walk over here.
And Jed called and said, "Do you want to handle him in the pup hunt?" I said, "Absolutely." And so we went hunting, I think the Wednesday or Thursday night before the pup hunt.
Because we had Bella and Dempsey.
We had Bella and Dempsey, and I think we made 8 or 9 trees, and I think that's what we looked at, was 8 or 9 trees.
It was a lot of bark.
Yes, I don't know if we ever treated a coon the night before.
No, we didn't.
I hadn't handled him, and I wanted to know what he sounded like. And so Jed says that's perfect. He likes them looking like that going into a big hunt. So there he boosted my self-esteem up even more. You know, I thought he might as well just write me the check.
Now this hunt the first year paid $15,000.
$15,000, yes.
All right.
And so we hunted the first round, the early round. I drawed you and Joe Don, wasn't it? With the Jed dog.
Yep.
And Joe Don.
All litter mates.
Yes. I think Joe Don won our cast, beat me by a quarter. I think Dempsey covered a coon or something. And then I went back out in the late round, and I won the cast with a 600 minus 200 circle.
Impressive.
It was impressive. I texted Jed and said, "Do you want to kill this dog or do you want me to?" He said, "Why?" And I come into the cabin and handed him the scorecard. And he said, "Wow, he was getting treed." I said, "Yes, he was." I don't think we didn't even hunt the full time because I drew Chris Freiberger with his money dog. She was just a pup. And old Dempsey was getting treed. Chris finally had enough and said...
He finally treed one circle tree or something like that.
Yes, he treed one circle tree. And
I think it was slick.
It was absolutely slick. I got in it and looked all the way out the top. Chris was judging. He circled it and withdrew. That was the only tree that Money wasn't on with him. And Chris said, "I've had enough of this."
Money was a nice dog as she got older, too.
But in Dempsey's defense, we take him back the next week and take him to the World Hunt and get him...
Yeah.
You know,
people don't understand, and these competition dogs get a bad rap. Oh, they tree too much, or oh, they do this, and oh, they do that. But nobody understands the beating these dogs take.
Oh no,
they don't get it.
No,
you know, the lion hunters out west and the bear hunters up north and stuff. They don't. Yeah, their dogs are taxed and they're running hard. The running dog guys and stuff, they're running hard and stuff. But there's every situation they put their dogs in is comfortable for them. Mm-hmm. You know, this dog has been turned loose in a pack of dogs since he was a baby.
Yep.
And you turn him loose on a bear, you turn him loose on a lion, and there's a pack of dogs there. These dogs have to be alone. They're getting corrected for doing things that dogs naturally do. They know what they're supposed to do, and sometimes they can't do it, which even adds more stress to the dog. People don't understand what these dogs go through. They don't have a clue. So they'll see this dog like Dempsey who's in a bad spell, who may tree 200 coons in a row and get second in Grandmasters and get in the top 16 of the world hunt and get this and get that, and this dog's a really good dog, and then we blow him up, and he does what Zane just described, trees a bunch of slicks in the row, and they think he's John.
Yep.
But they don't understand what happened to that dog before any of that.
They don't realize the miles that were put on that
No.
dog,
And
covering countrysides.
I started out with Dempsey saying he was one of my favorite dogs, but that weekend he was absolutely not one of my favorite dogs.
I still think that Dempsey is is probably the best reproducer out of Trader he might have beat.
Oh, absolutely.
Because he's thrown out of 2 or 3 different females. He's thrown a lot of winners. Delta was a good dog. Wiz is a platinum champion now. Delta's got to be close to a gold champion, or she is
I
a
think
gold
she's
champion.
a gold champion. She's close to
Yeah,
platinum.
I mean, and there's the Dixie female Adam Kites.
Yep.
That's a good dog. I mean, he's thrown some stuff out of a lot of different females. But getting back into what these dogs go through, you just think of Dempsey.
Somebody's getting a phone
Jed.
call.
I said put it on silent, not
I
vibrate.
I can't help when Big Tom Ragenbach calls me.
Hi, Big Tom. You're going to have to ignore, though, Jed. We're in the middle of something.
I am. I'm turning the vibrate on.
All right. But we burned Dempsey up.
Yep.
We already talked about Con. We burned him up. And Con didn't take much burning up because my line of dogs seems like they don't take near as long to burn up as Jed's line of dogs. They both do it, but in Con's case, it took, what?
3 years.
Yeah, 3 years. Yeah, he's done. And actually only a year and a half of competition hunting.
Yeah.
I took him to Super Stakes, got him in. He got chewed up in the quarterfinals pretty bad, which doesn't bother Con as much as the guy would think because he's a little rough himself. And won 2 earlies at the World Hunt, couldn't get him in late, had some bad luck late. And after that, it was just, I got him Final Four of a few 500 addeds and stuff like that, and then he was done. Done. Duds was done probably in about the same amount of casts, but later in life because I got aggravated at him and wouldn't hunt him. Dollar got burned up.
Yep.
We kind of got Dollar back for a stretch before he got sick. Ralph
Blew his
but he won quite a bit. He made gold champion before he got blew up.
truck tickets.
Yeah.
I mean, he did it all, and I just, you get on a roll with a dog, it's hard to stop.
You can't, just like how the reason Duds doesn't have what he's got won is because Dollar was there.
Yeah.
And Dollar just kept winning. So I couldn't put Dollar up and pack Duds, even though Duds was hot too at the time. And so it is hard to put a dog up that keeps winning.
But when a
What
dog,
are you doing with that or with that red healer?
he's just jumping and he wants to play.
Oh, he keeps
But
biting
I
it.
mean, the biggest thing is when you get on a roll with a dog, it's hard to put him up because once you get used to that winning, you just want to keep going.
It's addictive, ain't it?
It is, and it's a prime example with Shock. I mean, we took him from nothing to winning the Lone Star Shootout. What did we do right after the Lone Star Shootout? Take him down to the Black IP. Get him in at the Black IP. What
And
do we
then
do
Bear
after that?
Creek.
Take him to the Bear Creek.
An open event.
Win the Bear Creek. Then we take him to Nationals. I mean, and then we took him to Super Stakes.
But in our defense, when Wiz, Con, Duds, Dollar, Ralph, Shock, all of them were super hot, there wasn't a $2,500 Pro Classic every weekend.
That is correct.
And so we were burning these dogs up, and we were burning these dogs up $50 entry fees.
Yeah.
Winning $110. They'd just be torched. We'd torch them getting truck tickets. We'd torch them running state races. And so...
And thought we was doing something.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And we were, because it was hard. You think of, like, say this club right here in Ravenna where I live right now, you could draw Dollar, Trader, dogs that have won all over the country in a $30 hunt on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's changed a lot just in the last 6 years.
You guys know I don't travel much. That's one of the clubs I went to all the time, and I don't think I've ever been up there that I didn't at least draw a gold champion.
And even old Harley, I'm bringing him up. That freaking Harley would beat your brains out around here.
Yes.
And he was hard to beat. And that was a dog that, if someone else would have had him and traveled with him, probably could have won a lot. But he's probably,
Well,
a couple $100 short of a silver
I was
champion.
going to say, what's he won? He's never been in anything over
Yeah.
$50 hunt.
He got in the top 100 of the UKC world the one time they tried to take him to a world hunt. And I think he's got like $3,800 won, and he won most of it $54 or $72 at a time. I bet you that dog's got 200 cast wins.
When I tried buying that dog, I'm telling you, that sucker was right.
Jed offered him $10,000 off a road coon.
I did. Right on the hood of my pickup.
But back then, and now I go to a $30 hunt, when was the last time I went to a $30 hunt?
About 2 years ago.
Yeah, I'd say it's been a while. It's probably when Con was, it'd been probably 4 years ago that I went to very many of them in a row.
Yeah.
3 years ago, 3 years ago. Con was a 3-year-old, and I ran him for a truck ticket for
I was
a
going to
month.
say 2 years ago you was going to him, but letting Jace handle.
Yep, Jace was handling.
So
I mean, it's not, and they were a lot easier to win 3 years ago than they were 5 years ago.
Right.
They've changed a bunch. Legacy hunts and all that stuff. And so, what was we talking about? We was talking about burning dogs up. What else have we burned up? Is that all of them?
Bones.
Oh, yeah, we burnt Bones up, too. That dog won Super Stakes and then won that Pro Classic down in Oklahoma.
Oilfield Classic.
Yeah, and then hasn't been able to win since, has he?
Nope. They would just, I mean, there's only certain dogs in this world that can take the road.
Meltdown.
There's only one dog, and I am a firm believer in this, the greatest dog to ever travel is Meltdown.
Oh,
Because we're sitting here talking about these $30 hunts, these, week-long open events. Meltdown was at them. Then continued it through the Pro Classics when they started coming. The dog won no matter where he was at.
and Nicky proved even Dustin done great with him. Weed done awesome.
Oh,
You can't take
absolutely.
nothing away from Weed and Meltdown. But Nicky Hale bought that dog and still kept winning.
Yep.
I mean, that dog, and Nicky it ain't like just some Joe Schmo bought him. Nicky's a pretty good dog man,
Yeah.
But how old was he when Nicky bought him? He was
8.
pushing age then,
Yeah,
wasn't he?
he was 8 or something. He died when he was 8, I think. Nicky was able to get 2 pups out of it, and Nicky just won $50,000 with the only male pup alive out of Meltdown. Now, here's this. Here's the difference between a PKC guy that wants to win money and a UKC guy that wants to get
A trophy?
or pups or whatever he wants to get. And Kurt's going to talk about this. We're recording this the day before Kurt Ehring's podcast is going to air, which is going to be great, fantastic. It's great. But Kurt talks about the difference. He says UKC guys are breeders. He goes, not that PKC guys don't, but the UKC guys are more leaning towards the breeder side. So a UKC guy is going to take a Lipper pup, a Lipper semen pup, a Dr. Law or whatever one of them freaking litter of impact things were, and he's going to make him a show champion and immediately to the stud pen.
Yep.
You take Nicky Hale. Meltdown, until Ruby passed him, was the winningest dog of all time. The absolute number of casts that Meltdown won, I don't think will ever be eclipsed.
I don't believe so.
I don't know the exact number, but he was winning. He got hunted 5 nights a week, 6 nights a week in casts until he was 8.
And that was from Texas to
Yes,
Michigan.
to everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
he'd
was
be
all over
he'd
the
be up
country.
in Michigan at a week-long open event, and the next thing you know, he'd be down in Texas at the Lone Star, and he'd be. And so, Nicky takes. He gets him collected. He'd never been able to raise any pups out of him. Nobody had. He was dead semen, and nothing would stick with him. And so Nicky gets him collected and finally gets 2 pups. It's a male and a female. The female sold as a baby, 6-week-old, getting ready to be weaned pup for $12,000. Nicky takes the male and keeps him, starts him, hunts him, and now is turning him loose in these hunts and winning money with him. Don't care what he's worth. That's the only living male, the only male pup ever born out of one of the winningest dogs of all time, and Nicky's just cutting him.
But if, on the other hand, like you were saying, the difference between UKC and PKC is if Kurt Ehring had him or somebody that was big into the UKC, he'd be sitting in a stud pen.
Oh, he would.
He wouldn't
and he
be
probably
getting out
wouldn't
there.
be winning that 50. Now, Kurt would take him. Kurt takes Whitey, and y'all guarantee Whitey's going to be in the stud pen because that's the way Kurt operates. But he wouldn't have won as much as Nicky's going to win with this dog.
No,
And
'cause
Nicky may never raise a litter of pups out of him. Who knows?
I can tell you one thing. You give me that Whitey dog,
Hey, why do you look good last time I drew?
I will put my foot to that floorboard and run that dog because that sucker is a coon treer.
Now listen, I'm gonna explain the last cast I was in with Whitey, and it was rain at the Memphis Pro Classic, $2,500 entry fee. And me and Kurt, you guys are going to hear about this, or by the time this airs, you've already heard it. And we talk about the little dust up we had. Me and Kurt got into it pretty good in that cast. So, and what it was is Rain treed 4 coons. Kurt says he only treed 3 because one I couldn't score because it jumped. And Kurt don't believe me. And Kurt says, well, you're the only one that's seen it. Which I am the only one that's seen it, but the coon jumped while they were squalling a tree next to where Rain was treed. So her first coon got circled. She goes on to tree 3 more. Now, Whitey looked good. I can't take nothing away from Whitey. He was 200 out of the pickup on a coon by himself. He was 1/4 and 100 on another coon by himself. And so the dog's at 325. He's at 50 and 100. Anyway, the dog's beat me by 1/4 or something like that. And so I'm setting at Rain's tree, and what they did is they scored dogs out of order with a 1 dog not declared treat, which you can't do. Mm-hmm. Under no circumstances can you score dogs out of order with a dog not declared treat. Now, this affected me in 2 ways. For one, it took me away a lot of hunting time, probably 30 minutes. And it allowed Kurt to take Whitey, who was leading the cast, and lead him a mile to my tree, not turn him loose, and then another 900 yards to another dog's tree, and then turn loose with those 3 dogs and eat up strike points. So I should have been turned loose by myself for a 1/4 strike, and I should have had 30 minutes to go tree another coon and beat Kurt. But it didn't happen. I questioned the call. I used the rules. I said, look, Josh Thornhill was judging. He's a great guy and usually a pretty good judge. He just made a mistake, not a big deal. I said, I'm going to question it. And so we go back. At the end of the hunt, I had scored 3. I had been under 3 coons. Kurt had been under 3 coons on the card. I had treed all 3 of mine. Whitey, and Kurt's going to be so mad when he hears this. Whitey backed Rain on that coon. The last coon we cut loose with 9 minutes left. Rain trees it. Whitey backs it. Kurt's probably going to be mad, but that's what happened. And anyway, that gave Kurt the lead because he was struck for 100, and I was struck for 50. And so that ended up, Kurt beat me by 1/4, so the question was going to matter. We get back to the clubhouse. We sit in front of the panel. I believe Chet Trent, Mike Hensley, and Sean Wood were on the panel. They award me 17 minutes of hunting time. They said, you guys got to go back out. The scores are this, which puts me still down 1/4 with 17 minutes to go, which I like my odds because Rain was really sharp. She'd looked good all weekend. She'd got in the night before even. And so I said, all right, cool, let's go. Well, then Hensley goes, well, we can't extend the hunt deadline. Well, it's 2:45, and the hunt deadline's at 3, and we've got 17 minutes to hunt. I said, well, how's this going to work? He goes, I don't know. He goes, there's no appeal. We can't extend the deadline. I said, well, we got to flip coin. And so it was a $4,000 coin flip. So
We like them coin flips.
we do, and high card. I tried to get Kurt to draw cards. He wouldn't draw cards. And so we flip a coin. Now, listen, Kurt, if you're listening to this, I told you to call heads. I done got paid the night before, but it was Jed's money, and I wasn't going to waste it. I was going to do all I could to win, but I told you to call heads. And Kurt wouldn't call it. He goes, I ain't calling it, you call it. I said, all right, it's going to be heads. Sean flips it. It's heads. I win $4,000. Kurt don't win nothing. Kurt's mad. But in Kurt's defense, a couple days later, he calls Jed. He calls me. We're all good. But anyway, that was me and Kurt's last cast. And everybody, when I told them that I was setting him down for the podcast, they're like, he ain't still mad at you? I said, nah. I said, Kurt don't stay mad long. Kurt's a good dude, and we had a lot of fun down there. But back to our original point, that Whitey is a pretty good dog.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with Whitey.
Yep.
Rat, he's got a rat and
I don't know what
I don't even know if it's a TrackMan female, surely.
I'm guessing.
Gotta
All I
be.
know is that's a coon.
If him and Buzz bred it to rat semen, it's surely a
TrackMan.
TrackMan something.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's Kurt.
Just to clear one rules question up,
Uh-huh.
you said under no circumstances can you tree or score out of order. You can if the hunt's over, correct?
Yes,
Yes.
if the hunt's over, but not if The only time you can score out of order in PKC is if all dogs are declared treat.
Correct.
And during this, and I don't know what Josh was thinking, Clifford's dog was not declared treat, and they scored out of order. They let Kurt walk Whitey to me, which none of that should have been done. Yant knew better.
But he withdrew.
But Yant withdrew, and he said, "Yeah, go ahead," because he wanted to get his hands on tanking it and want to have to walk another 2 miles. So Yant ain't no dummy. He said, "It ain't my problem. I got my hands on my dog." There's another good dog.
Yeah.
Tank's a good dog.
Yeah.
And so anyway, what were we talking about? We was talking about Kurt and Whitey and dogs blowed up. Anything else?
Not on dogs blowed up. I think we went through them all.
There's a bunch.
We blew a bunch of them
We
up.
blew a bunch of dogs up. Everybody has.
Yeah.
These dogs don't. They're flash in a pan. That's why Meltdown is such a freak.
Yeah.
And Ruby to an extent, but Wes and Brett were really smart about where they took Ruby. You don't see Ruby at.
Well, Ruby, when
She was though for a while. Brett was running her in state races, and they went out to
right, but
Labor Day Classic and
what
stuff.
they started doing with her was just $6,500 entry fee
Yeah.
hunts, $2,500, and they've bred her.
Yeah.
That says a lot about the dog too.
Yeah,
I
she's
mean,
raised 3 litters above.
and still wins.
Yeah.
Quite consistently. So,
Well-
there's just very few dogs that you don't blow up. I mean, you take Shock like the other night.
Yeah,
I
how
take
many
him out.
coons? How many coons did Trout Tree pleasure hunting the other night?
9 coons and 9 trees, 9 coons, and they're all layups and oaks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just one of those things where you're like, where is this dog at when you go to a hunt? Well, you get to a hunt, he knows he don't want to be there.
Me and Shock don't get along.
Well, and to recap Jed's The Truth series, I think he said in there, about putting them in dog boxes, traveling with them, making them sleep in a dog box, so that you're kind of expecting whether that dog's burned up before you go down the road or not.
And one thing I always wanted to do is raise a pup, just like I do that healer that goes to work with me every day. Raise a coon dog in the dog box for 10 months, 11 months from the time they're babies, haul them with you all the time, still coon on them and everything, and know that that's where they live, and the comfortable situation is you don't know where you're going to get turned loose. But then you go through all that, and you may go a year and a half, and the dog ain't no good.
Yeah.
So you got to start all over. That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And we've been through some of them that ain't no good, too.
We have.
Yes.
But how many, though, now here lately? I think we've got our pup starting down to a science. We don't have very many of them that can win.
What's that look for, Jed?
Y'all might, but I don't.
But I'm just saying.
He said starting, not winning.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
I don't know what he's calling started, like just get out of the box or actually run and tree a coon, or I'm not for sure on the scale.
Let's take the percentage of the dogs that we raise as puppies. By we, I mean me and Zane, because Jed, he ain't messing with that. How many of them do we raise as puppies that you can turn loose by themselves that will run and tree a coon? Probably 80%.
Yeah, most of them that
Most of
me and
them
you
we
have had
raised.
together, except for the 2 that's come to my house.
So by we, I mean me. But seriously, most of them will run a tree coon by themselves. You look at the ones we've sold, I don't know how many there's been, a bunch, and they will run a tree coon, but people don't understand how low a bar that is.
Yeah.
We don't, those dogs are common. We can start a pup you can turn loose and it'll tree coons consistently. Easy. I don't want to say it's super easy, but it's borderline super freaking easy.
Hey, can we do without the whispering? You're starting to remind me of Joe Biden. Can't handle it.
He'll be smelling you next.
Hey, I need to know if you guys are vaccinated. That's what I need to know.
We're good.
All right. But anyway, I just don't. It's easy. What are you giggling at, Finley? Quit beating things on the table.
I'm just saying.
What?
It's not easy,
It's
is what
not
he's
easy.
saying.
Jed.
Because I can't get a pup.
Yeah, but here's Jed's deal. Here's Jed's problem with starting a pup. Is he's got 3 dogs in his kennel all the time that you can take out and win a cast with, or win a major event with. Right now you got.
Wish I had them problems.
Yeah, I know. Small problem. Well, when you've got Rain and Scent getting ready for the world hunt, or Rain, you've just spent a $2,500 entry fee for me to handle her down at Sean's, or a $6,500 down at the Black Eye, you ain't worried about that pup.
No.
That pup sits in that kennel. You ain't messing with that pup. Where me, when I'm not handling Rain, or Zane, when he's not, getting Whiz ready, we would rather take that pup out.
Yes, we'd rather hunt young
Yes,
dogs.
we'd
And
rather-
when anything I've ever watched you start, like you said, you put everything else to the back burner.
Yep.
You're mad at con, you're mad at duds, you buy a pup, and you spend 6 months with it.
Yes, a hard hunt.
You just give me the wax, I'll do the polishing. The way it needs to be.
And also, my thing is, and Jed's the exact opposite, is the hard part is when those dogs have to go from treeing coons consistently alone to getting ready to be in a cast. I've done that with con, and I've done that with a couple others, not many, duds, but I hate that part because I got to travel.
Well, I was going to say, the difference is you know what it takes to gather 4 of them up. Just
Yeah.
like me and Jed before Super Stakes. I called him, said, come over, I want to put these dogs with some strange dogs. So what do? We turn 4 or 5 loose at a time.
Ugh.
And it's miserable. It's not
It
fun.
is.
It's absolutely
It is,
miserable.
but
Now, when a young dog's getting better every night, that's fine.
But the problem is,
But when I
it's-
got to go to Eagleville and turn loose con with Mary and 3 other dogs that I don't know, and they're spread all over the country, and they're what was that?
That was
dog?
Bogan,
That
not
was
Jed.
the dog. All right, but they're spread all over the country. That's not very much fun. Jed likes that part.
yeah.
He likes getting dogs ready to be in a cast. I don't. I just assume wait till they're.
no, he gets a tickle out of cutting
Yeah.
4 or 5 and watching them scatter. And
Oh, yeah.
like I said, in
3
week-
hour-
the
3
week
hours
before
trying to get all
Super
the
Stakes,
scores
we
treed.
cut them, and I think mine was what 1.9 down that creek.
Yeah.
And he's sitting over there giggling. They're still going. he said, I'm going to give you a little advice. He said, if you go Super Stakes, try not to cut loose on a creek.
Yep, there you go.
But the thing is, when you get to that point, that's where I can see a dog progress. Where a lot of people see him progress when they're a young dog. I like to see him progress winning. And that's my big thing about it.
And like he said, that's where we're different because I'm with Josh. I don't want a puppy like he starts, but give me something that's just started treeing coons. I like to hunt young dogs that you can watch progress and tree coons by themselves.
I just don't like. I like hunting alone. I do. You know.
Well,
a lot
that's
of-
not all by choice.
No, that's not true. I mean, I got my only 2 friends here with me today. So I think I have a choice.
Yant's your friend too.
Yeah. I guess we're up to 3. But you know, I like hunting on my terms and my terms only.
Yeah.
And so Jed's the same way. You know, Jed's shaking his head like, but he's the same way. Like he don't want to. It's got to be his buggy. It's got to be his gun. His stupid gun that you can't hit nothing with.
Hey.
You couldn't hit this house from the inside of it with this gun, but Jed's got to pack this stupid thing all the time.
The other thing is, when I like to watch them scatter, I do like to watch that happen when the crops are out.
Yes.
Because we have had to do some walks,
Yes, we have.
and those beans, oh man, they ain't fun to walk through.
Hopefully, where we're going tonight's got the crops out.
I'm pretty sure there's roads everywhere.
Are you guys going over here to the other side of the house?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's good hunting. You'll be all right. Me and Jed drove to all the trees the other night. We had to walk 200 yards to scent,
Yeah.
and we seen some otters.
Yeah.
Almost ran one over with the ranger. It was fun.
And found a nice
Oh, yeah, we
set of
found those.
lockhorns.
Yeah, under Con's slick tree.
Yeah.
Con was like one for, I don't know, 27 or something. He hadn't been out all summer. It wasn't good.
He was getting wooded.
So he
was
went
getting
from 37 to out of 38 to 1 out of 27.
Yes. He treed 30. It was his 37th that he missed, right?
Yeah.
Because he missed a mulberry slick.
Yep.
He treed 36 coons in a row and missed his 37th. And then we put him up all summer, and then turned
He's
him loose
about to
again.
reverse them.
Yeah,
numbers.
he's going to go 0 for 30 whatever now, and it'll be 50%. All right. Anything else you guys want to add? How long we been doing this? About an hour?
Yeah.
Well,
bad.
the previous podcast, I will say one thing about that. Jason Daughtry's previous podcast about his life and how it's come around.
That was awesome.
That was absolutely probably the most amazing podcast I've ever listened to.
Yes.
To be honest with you, a lot of respect for Jason. I mean, I didn't know anything about that, you know, his whole life story. But, I mean, to turn your life around like that.
Yes, and I don't know Jason personally. You know, I've talked to him on the phone once. I met him out to Super Stakes, but he defined the truth there, and I think
Yeah.
that's the way he always is. I called him about a dog one time. It's the only time I talked to him on the phone, and he had an ad, you know, don't call to talk dogs. I said, I got one question for you. I said, is that dog accurate? He said, don't even use accurate and this dog in the same sentence. I said, thanks for your time.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I really think that was an eye-opener for a lot of people out there.
It was a powerful story because And Ward touched on it. What you'll hear from Wes and Brett will touch on it about all the trouble that they stayed out of because of dogs, because of this sport. And, I mean, it may have saved Artie's life.
Oh, absolutely. I feel it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jason's awesome. Zane, anything you want to add?
I don't think so.
You've added enough already anyway.
Yeah, well, on that note, I've got a few more things to talk about.
But we are going hunting tonight.
Yeah,
You know
Zane
that.
and Jed are going hunting. I'm going to stay home.
I got
to get packed.
I got to go do Josh's dirty work.
That's
Go
right. You got to get that
Rain
dog ready. Hey, well, Rain's paid a lot of bills this summer.
For you.
Yeah, I know. I ain't worried about your bills. But she did have the wheels fall off a little bit on Saturday, so.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Jed will get it right for you.
Oh, yeah.
I would say the wheels tonight, we'll see if they're turning again.
Yeah.
Hey, I do got one more thing I want to talk about.
What's
you
that?
did not bring up your late round cast with Big Brother where he put it on you.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you exactly what happened. The bad thing is me and Big Brother both thought out of the pickup that Salt was going to just destroy us. Because Salt goes in there and, I mean, drives this coon in there and bang, gets treed. Rain gets treed right after that, and Venus gets treed right after that, probably within 30, 40 seconds of each other, but they were in a line, so we couldn't tell if they were split or not. Me and Venus both went in for a quarter. We get in there, they're all three split, they all three got coons, and this is 10 minutes into this cast. I'm thinking we are going to have a shootout, absolute shootout. Cut loose off that, and everything mud-holed for about an hour. Well, probably 45 minutes. Venus banged around. Rain banged around. Salt never made a bark. I'm pretty sure George struck Venus, and Chris didn't catch it, but I wasn't sure at the time. I mean, I'm pretty sure now. Actually, I was sure at the time, too. Jeremy's probably pretty sure. George is probably even pretty sure. But anyway, I get struck for 50 again, but Rain beats around in this water. Venus, she's barking in front of us back and forth. She's not really doing anything. This goes on for 45 minutes. And then pretty soon, Rain gets treed. We get in there, she's got a coon. Venus gets treed. Venus has got a coon. Salt gets treed. We're walking to Salt. Now, Salt can still beat me at 3 1/4. Venus took a 100 pump because she got treed for a little bit. Jeremy treated her and she left. She took a minus. And so right now I'm just worried about Salt. Venus trees another coon. Oh, Venus treed 2 coons in between then. And then, yeah.
That's how we got beat.
Then, well, the bees. We got into a nest of bees.
I forgot about the bees.
Yes. Venus is, I think it was her. No, she just treed one. Her second coon was a bee tree. And we're in there shining it, and we find the coon. Here he is. Next thing I know, Chris Gay screams like a woman. Jeremy said he thought there was a bunch of cheerleaders over there that had seen a mouse or something. And I scream, and everybody screams. Everybody's getting stung by ground bees, and we all run out of there. Venus has got a coon. Salt's treed. We're walking to Salt. Rain gets treed behind us. And at that time, Rain had treed 2 coons. Venus had treed 2 coons. And Venus had took a 100 pump. So even though she beat me on strike, I was still going to win this cast. But Salt is in there at 325 if Salt has a coon. So I got to tree Rain. And so I tree Rain behind us. Dog's trying to drink. Anyway, I tree Rain behind us. I go walking in there, and I hear Venus come treed, but Jeremy had walked in there to Salt, and I had my fingers crossed because Venus flew through there and bang, and I knew she had a coon. But I got my fingers crossed this hunt's winding down that Jeremy can't hear her. But you can hear that coyote sounding thing for freaking 3 miles. Man, she carries forever. And so they come walking to me, and if I got a coon, none of this matters. I ain't got nothing. I got a great big viney, messy tree that you couldn't hardly shine in, but the way she done it, I don't think she had a coon. I think she was trying to lay a coon up. Because when Rain trees really, really, really hard, she was 100 barks a minute in there just calking them off. She usually ain't got nothing.
That's when the wheels fell off.
Yes. She was real sharp for 5 straight coons, and then her last one, she kind of derailed. So I couldn't find nothing in that tree, and of course, Jeremy heard Venus, and she got ahead of coon, and she beat me. But I'll take 1 and 2. Michaela's brothers 1 and 2. That's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
I think that might be the first time I've drawn Jeremy since I was like 17.
That's
It's probably a good thing, though.
Yeah, probably.
That's what I was getting ready to say. You know, I'm sure you drawed each other before, but that's pretty cool that you in a bigger money hunt like that and end up first and second.
Yeah, that's the first time that's ever happened, and I don't know. I mean, we'll be like the Burdens here before long. We'll be like the first family of coon hunt. We'll be the Stollards.
Right. That's right.
So, no, it was fun. Sean puts on a good hunt down there. The food is great.
Yeah, always does. a
Man,
good
that
job.
Sean can freaking cook. All them pro classics are like that, though. The ones we put on in Memphis and Texas and all them all over the country, man, them are the best hunts to go to.
Sean's got some of the best hunting around,
He's
too.
got really good hunting. I think we scored 5 coons early, 5 coons late, which is not easy to do.
No.
And then the second night, I don't know how many coons we scored. Of course, I withdrew after the first hour, but they treat a bunch of coons second night, too. So. All right. Anything else, fellas?
Nope. Let's go coon hunting, boys.
Oh, there he is. There's Kurt.
That's the
bringing
Kurt
out the
Aaron
inner
right
Kurt.
there.
All
gotta
right,
get these
we're going to
dogs
close
ready.
this out. We're going to make this a monthly deal. We're going to get you guys, we're going to sit down, we're going to talk about the past podcast. We're going to, next time, which I had that this time, but I couldn't find it, we're going to get some listener questions for Zane and Jed, and then we're going to go through some of that stuff too. So I think this was about as truthful as we can make it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, thanks for
If you-
joining me. Yeah.
One last thing.
What's
if
that?
you want to know how to blow up a dog, come see us.
Yeah, just go.
Come see us.
Get it running in tree and coons, send
Hey.
it to Jed, it'll be blowed up in a year.
Maybe next time we can talk about what we've done right instead of what we've done wrong.
We're really good at getting dogs to where they can win.
Yeah.
We're just having a hard time keeping them there.
We're having
Which
a hard
is a
time
problem
winning.
with everybody. Yeah.
The problem is summer.
Yeah. Man, I
Absolutely.
hate summer. I think we would be better served to like go to Alaska in the summer where it's cool somewhere and still keep hunting.
Let's not
Is
get
there
carried
coons in
away.
Alaska?
Sure, there's coons everywhere.
don't
You
know.
told me that you could turn a coon dog loose anywhere and he could tree a coon.
Hey,
Hey.
in the sand hills, there was coons out there.
Yeah.
I seen
Oh,
them
yeah,
hit
there's a
on
lot
the
of coons
road
out there.
and there's no trees.
Yeah. There was coons in Montana when we was up there, and there wasn't no trees north of Haber either. I always said about Con is you could turn him loose in an absolute coon zoo or coon desert. That dog's going to treat 2 coons. You could turn him loose in an absolute coon zoo, and that dog's going to treat 2 coons. in
Unless
2 hours.
unless he's on his streak that he is now.
Yeah, then he'll treat 0 coons.
He'll still make 2 trees.
He'll tap 2 trees though. I don't neither one have anything in it. All right, thanks for joining me, guys. I hope everybody enjoyed it. We're going to do this once a month, and it's going to be, I don't know, we'll have to call this some kind of the Zane and Jed hour or something. I don't know what we're going to call it. But anyway, we're going to do it again.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening to The Truth on the Houndsman XP Podcast Network.